The fashion world has witnessed countless bold campaigns, towering billboards, and record-breaking brand activations, but nothing quite like this. When Calvin Klein unveiled its first-ever giant freestanding sculptural advertisement in the United States featuring Jungkook of BTS, the industry didn't just pause, it collectively gasped. Because this wasn't a billboard. It wasn't a digital screen. It wasn't a projection mapping show or a temporary banner wrapped around a building. It was a monumental, three-dimensional installation towering between skyscrapers, an enormous sculptural display shaped like a pair of denim-clad legs wearing Calvin Klein, standing boldly across a public plaza as if redefining the skyline itself. And according to observers and fashion analysts, nothing of this scale and concept has ever been executed before in any country. The structure immediately commanded attention. Rising dramatically between glass and steel high-rises, the installation transformed a busy American city block into an immersive fashion spectacle. The legs, massive, architectural, unapologetically striking, appeared to stride confidently across the urban landscape. Beneath them, Calvin Klein branding lined the street barriers, while large campaign visuals featuring Jungkook framed the base. But it wasn't merely the size that stunned the public. It was the audacity. In an era dominated by LED megascreens and viral digital marketing, Calvin Klein chose something radically physical, something impossible to scroll past. This was not content you could swipe away, it was content you had to stand beneath. And that is precisely why the moment became historic. Industry experts are already calling it a turning point in experiential fashion marketing. While brands have experimented with oversized props and immersive pop-ups before, no global fashion house has constructed a sculptural installation of this magnitude centered on a single campaign image, especially not one integrated so boldly into a major American cityscape. What makes it even more unprecedented is that this marks the first time Calvin Klein has introduced a giant 3D outdoor installation of this kind anywhere in the world. Not in Europe, not in Asia, not even in fashion capitals like Paris or Milan. The United States became the stage for something entirely new, and Jungkook became its face. The symbolism is impossible to ignore. Jungkook, who began his journey as a teenage trainee in South Korea, now stands, quite literally, at monumental scale in the heart of America. His rise mirrors the transformation of global pop culture itself. Once considered a regional phenomenon, K-pop has become a worldwide cultural force, and Jungkook stands at the forefront of that movement. Fans quickly flooded social media with disbelief and pride. Videos capturing the installation from street level spread across platforms within minutes. Some clips showed pedestrians stopping mid-step, craning their necks to take in the scale. Others captured fans screaming in excitement, overwhelmed by the visual impact. "This has never been done before," one viral post read, "not in any country." And that statement isn't exaggeration. Fashion campaigns have always pushed boundaries, but most rely on flat surfaces, walls, screens, building wraps. This installation defies those norms. It transforms a simple garment, denim jeans, into architectural art. It merges fashion with public sculpture. It redefines what an advertisement can look like. Marketing analysts argue that this shift reflects a broader evolution in consumer engagement. Modern audiences crave experiences. They want moments that feel tangible, shareable, unforgettable. A static billboard no longer guarantees impact, but a towering physical installation that reshapes a city block, that creates conversation. For Calvin Klein, a brand synonymous with minimalist sensuality and bold imagery, the move feels both surprising and perfectly aligned. The design remains clean, the focus remains on the product, but the scale magnifies the message beyond anything previously attempted. And at the center of it all is Jungkook. His partnership with Calvin Klein has already proven commercially powerful. Previous campaigns featuring him generated massive online engagement and reportedly led to product sellouts across multiple regions. But this installation signals something deeper than commercial success. It signals confidence, confidence that his image alone can anchor a historic first. Observers note that brands typically reserve such groundbreaking concepts for anniversaries or legacy moments. For Calvin Klein to debut this format with Jungkook speaks volumes about his influence. He is not simply endorsing a product, he is redefining how that product is presented to the world. The installation's placement between towering buildings amplifies its symbolic weight. Surrounded by symbols of corporate power and financial dominance, the structure stands unapologetically bold. It challenges the skyline, it claims space. And in doing so, it sends a message. Global fashion leadership is no longer confined to traditional Western faces. Representation has expanded, influence has diversified, the epicenter of cultural power has shifted. What makes this moment even more astonishing is that no country has seen a Calvin Klein installation like this before. Not Tokyo, not London, not Seoul, not New York in past decades. This is a first in every sense of the word, conceptually, structurally, culturally. Experts believe the risk was enormous. Constructing a freestanding sculpture of this size in a dense urban area requires extensive planning, engineering approvals, and logistical coordination. Weather considerations, public safety measures, traffic adjustments, the investment is substantial. But so is the reward. Within hours of its unveiling, global media outlets began circulating images. Fashion commentators dissected the strategy. Marketing forums debated its long-term implications. Fans organized meetups to visit the site. The installation became a destination. And perhaps that is its most revolutionary aspect. Advertisements are typically meant to interrupt daily life briefly. This one became part of daily life. It became a landmark, a meeting point, a cultural flashpoint. Some critics questioned whether such scale risks overshadowing the product itself, but supporters argue the opposite. By elevating a simple pair of jeans to monumental proportions, the campaign underscores their iconic status. Denim is timeless, universal, democratic, making it architectural reinforces its cultural permanence. Jungkook's presence amplifies that universality. His global fan base spans continents, languages, and generations. His appeal crosses demographic boundaries, and now, through this installation, his influence is physically embedded into the American urban environment. The phrase "never been done before" is often used casually in marketing, but in this case, it feels justified. No prior Calvin Klein activation anywhere in the world has taken this exact sculptural form. No previous campaign has introduced such a bold, three-dimensional landmark. This is not evolution, it is reinvention. And as fans continue to share footage, one thing becomes clear: this moment will be remembered. Years from now, when analysts trace the trajectory of experiential fashion marketing, they may point back to this installation as a pivotal shift. Because sometimes, history isn't made quietly. Sometimes it stands towering between skyscrapers, impossible to ignore. And sometimes it wears Calvin Klein,